I did not plan on being a woman when I grew up. There is a myth that feminine power is inferior power, and worse, that it is evil and destructive. As a girl, I was what was called then a tomboy. I was very athletic, I was very competitive, I was strong, I loved being outside. I did not want to have anything to do with girly things. When I had my first baby, one of the illusions about women not being strong and powerful was completely dispelled. I had never done anything so powerful in my life as to birth this baby. I had connected to a well of love that I had never known in my life before. The name of my book is The Wild Feminine, Stories to Inspire and Embolden. One day I was sitting outside of Pete's with my 1.5-year-old toddler, completely joyfully present in the moment. And as we sat there, a man in a 3-piece business suit carrying a briefcase came and sat down on the bench next to me. And he was reading the New York Times. And in an instant, I felt my entire awareness and consciousness shift. A dialogue started in my head. I wanted to tell this man that I also read the New York Times. And in that instant, I had completely dismissed this mother sitting there with a child as somebody who was not powerful, was not very intelligent, didn't have any wishes and dreams for the world. That was the beginning of a long journey of, oh my goodness, what does a healthy woman look like? The feminine pathway to growth and development is a spiral path. We move around a center of who we truly are into wider and wider circles of including more and more of us. I call her wild because this is the divine feminine freed, untamed, unsilenced, out of exile. One of the difficulties in accepting and embracing feminine power is it doesn't look like masculine power. What I'm talking about really is a reconciliation of the masculine and the feminine. Without the masculine, we wouldn't get much done, actually, because the masculine has a linear focus, goal-directed. We need that. Even though it may be a bit disturbing to take a more wandering, meandering path, this is really the feminine path of power and transformation. A woman and the feminine identity comes out of self and other. There's no separate self. It's not an either or. It's an inclusionary, collaborative, cooperative power. You don't lose power to connect to another. In fact, you are more likely to become more fully yourself and to allow the other person to be more fully themselves. Then you have the combined energy, and a third thing happens, which is beyond your wildest dreams. This book, I very intentionally wanted to be a personal letter to you, an invitation to you, and I wanted to give a rounder and deeper and broader experience of the feminine rather than giving you a manual and a how-to. When you add women's experience and you add this archetypal power and wisdom, then we have a complete, whole, holy self. And out of that self, we make a new map of the world. Because the world reflects what we think it is to be human. For those of you who connect to this work and want to go further with it, I offer webinars, retreats, online group programs, and a few individual coaching and consulting hours. I wish for you an enlivening of your wild feminine and a reclaiming of your wild soul.